Hey friends, today's Monday, July the 10th. Is Pastor Fieberkorn here with you for a Business of Heaven Monday. Today's devotion from C.S. Lewis, it's actually an excerpt from his famous work, Mere Christianity. It's called Rats in the Cellar. Let's listen to what he says. He says, we begin to notice, besides our particular sinful acts, our sinfulness. We begin to be alarmed not only about what we do, but about who we are. This may sound rather difficult, so I'll try to make it clear from my own case. He says, when I come to my evening prayers and I try to add up my sins of the day, 9 times out of 10, the most obvious sin is a sin against charity when I've sulked or snapped or sneered or stormed or snubbed someone. And the excuse that immediately springs to mind is that the provocation was so sudden and so unexpected. I was caught off guard and didn't have time to collect myself. You may feel that way too, that many sins, you didn't even really intend them. They just sort of happened. Now, that may be an extenuating circumstance, he says, to those particular kinds of acts. They would obviously be worse acts if they'd been premeditated or deliberate. In other words, you intended to do them, you'd thought about them and then sinned. He says, on the other hand, surely what a man does when he is taken off guard is the best evidence of who he truly is. Surely what pops out of man before he has the time to put on a disguise is the truth. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So maybe a more accurate diagnosis of who we are is exactly those things we do when unprovoked or when provoked. Not things we've thought through and thought out. And that's where he says this: if there are any rats in the cellar, you are most likely to see them when they occur suddenly. But the suddenness does not create the rats. It only prevents them from hiding. In the same way, the suddenness of the provocation does not make me an ill-tempered man. It only shows me what an ill-tempered man I am. The rats are always in the cellar. But if you go on in shouting and noisily, they will have taken cover before you turn on the light. Very insightful thoughts from Lewis. And what he's saying there is he's diagnosing sins of the inner heart. It's not only our acts that are sinful. We can excuse our acts, we can make excuses for them, but those acts spring from a sinful heart within. And we can go throughout our whole lives without really acknowledging or addressing that inner heart. Many people who are quite wonderfully behaved on the surface have evil thoughts simmering within, though they appear to be better than others. The truth is, they might be far worse off than others whose sins occasionally or maybe even often come to the fore, but who aren't trying to hide the reality of who they are. And I think we see this in our confession. I have sinned against you in what? Thought, word, and deed. We often think about words and deeds, but also our thoughts. And so we do battle with our thoughts. We wage war with them because they're waging war against our soul. And that's part of what it means to live in the truth, is not just to scare the rats away before they're seen, but to acknowledge we all have rats in the cellar of our heart, and to confess those sins, repent of them, and strive each day to live in the Spirit. All right, have a blessed Monday. God's peace to you.